Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 184 of the Jiu Jitsu Dummies podcast. We're brought to you by Black Belt Digital Marketing. Anything you need to build your business on or offline. That's website design, SEO, Google Ads. We have AI products now, receptionists, web chats. Literally can help with anything. Check us out at Black Belt Digital Marketing on Instagram or our website, bbdigitalmarketing.com. You can request a free review of your online presence today. My name is Milton Campus. I'm a black belt training out of Coral Springs, Florida. Don't forget to comment, like, save, share, do all of those things. Click the subscribe button. We appreciate all your support. Joining us today is Ish Lopez, officer, like you got podcaster, officer, jack of all trades,
real estate,
operations manager. I did see the real estate. Yes, I was like, oh shit, I left out real estate. Real estate mogul. I mean, you do it all, huh?
I saw that you run a regional beard award.
Why? Where's that coming from? Because that's not the first time I've heard that.
This is comic relief, just so you know. Ben is incredible, but he's also the comic relief.
I'm going to be releasing a beard oil one day, hopefully.
Oh, man.
Somebody offered, you know who offered me one? Who did we see? Who was at your, the UFC fighter. He was at your event last weekend.
It's a good handful.
UFC fighter at your event.
We roll deep like that.
God.
That guy.
I'm going to remember his name. He was not Roger, but there was a coach there representing
Cosmo Alexander.
No. We've had him on the show. Shit, I forgot his name. He had offered me. He had a sponsor, a beard like oil sponsor, really? And I barely. I had just a little bit. He was like, "Hey man, I'm going to send you some stuff." Never got it. I don't blame him, but
it's not much of a beard. No offense.
But he had the
whole shebang.
Mine was just here. I just
did you just say this is not much of a beard?
Not comparatively in volume. You know?
I can't get it there. I trimmed.
I get patchy. I wasn't patchy in my 20s. I'm patchy now.
Jim Ehlers.
Oh yeah,
Jim Ehlers.
Okay.
Sorry, Jim. It's not that I say my brain is like a bucket and it's completely full.
We're in this bucket right now.
One drop of water and like something's got to come out, and that's like it's crazy. He was supposed to get me some stuff. He never did, and I'm not offended because I don't even think I could have used it at the time. You know, I couldn't till I was in my late 30s. It didn't grow here.
Really?
I couldn't grow a beard. I couldn't do it. Right. I always had this little. Was that the Fu Manchu?
Saver?
I just had this.
So Fu Manchu is a Hulk Hogan.
Hey, Puerto Rican from Long Island. That's what we do. We have the little freaking
Puerto Rican from Long Island.
Last week I had the Hogan and like kind of blown out. My wife hates the Hogan. My daughter loves the Hogan.
You got to do like Halloween, like do the whole.
So I'm doing.
What did he do? Like gray and then black, or black and gray?
It was like yellow and white by the end of his.
Well, like when he was the bad guy, when he was the heel.
Oh, I have no clue.
When Hogan was the heel.
Oh yeah.
He
did the black when he was the bad guy, like real, like kind of chunky, and then blonde when he was the good guy.
Yeah.
I was never a Hogan fan though.
No.
Hated Hogan.
Come on,
bro. I was an ECW guy. I was a barbed wire bat.
Well, didn't he go? What did he? He went to What was it?
WCW.
WCW is what he went.
That
where
was
he
like
became
old
the
guy
heel.
wrestling. Yeah.
I didn't.
There was TNT
watched when I was
too. Wasn't TNT?
That was like 10 years later.
Oh, that's.
I'm not. You know who watched? You know who watches wrestling?
Me.
My freaking dad. My dad is so. I think he's watching it because of the girls, but just saying.
Exposed.
But yeah, I mean, he was like a boxing fan. Hated MMA. Now he's boxing MMA. He watches Dana White's Contender. He's like telling me, he's like, "Did you watch Dana White's Contender series?" And I'm like, "No." He's like, "You're not really a fan." I'm like, "What?" I'm like,
I got a different show for everything now.
I got you into it, and
it's hard to keep up. Like if you like more than one thing, if you like wrestling and MMA, you're out of luck.
And now throw in like UFC BJJ or just BJJ in general. Dude. It's very hard. Now I'm at the point, I don't feel so bad because I watched some like stars the other day, like some MMA guys. Oh, you know what? I watched Rampage Jackson on Rogan. He didn't know anybody's name. He's just like, who? That guy? Like these famous fighters that are like even title holders. He's like, who? What? I don't even know that guy. So I don't feel so bad. But there's so much to watch. It's like I don't know where. I didn't even get to watch the whole card, last week's card.
I did just because I had stake in it. I don't know what we can talk about, but yeah, and I feel like every time you watch a new UFC
Money
card,
you bet on it? Okay.
Yeah. So every time I watch a new UFC card, I feel like, oh, the best in the game. Everyone's the best in the game. I can't follow
the most stacked UFC card in UFC history.
Like, which one is
every time?
There's a show on Wednesday and Saturday, and they're both the most stacked in history.
I didn't even realize till Eric from Seminar Sack. I was chatting with him. he said, "Oh, we're gonna watch the UFC." I'm like, "Oh, is it a numbered UFC?
Back to back, yeah.
Back to back. That hasn't happened in a really long time, if ever."
It's that Paramount deal, man. They can dish out shows now.
I bought my $59.99 or $95 for the year. I bought my membership right before the day before it was going to $89. I bought the $59.
So the local MMA show, shout out 247, but they have like watch parties, so you could just come in, and we just hang out in the arena.
Oh well, who?
247. It's an arena. They don't charge or anything. That you. Well,
I was gonna say like you UFC will, at least on the pay-per-views. My old school got in trouble for showing the event. He got a fine for showing the event.
Yeah, they pay their
inviting
dues
for the gym.
Yeah, they pay their dues.
Yeah, if you.
I worked in a gentleman's club at one point, and as a
do you mean a strip joint where girls take off all their clothes?
There's the ad.
100%.
Hey,
but they
try not to offend the lady that's here.
They're called a gentleman's
club.
That's
only the fondest of gentlemen.
I'm no gentleman.
I know. But they had a UFC just to like get people in, and they got busted and fined. So they had 120 seats. So the way the cable was like, oh, you have to buy the pay-per-view for each individual. So it was like $5,000 for them because they could. Well, that's what you're supposed to pay. Like, oh, you hold 120, so that's $5,000.
Or you could be part like they have UFC X. Has like if you search like UFC prior to this deal, like you could like your bar, your restaurant could be a member. You pay a flat fee, right? So then you're not paying.
Yeah, but it's by
per person.
No, that restaurant.
It's like by TV. So how many TVs?
Oh, by TV. I'm sorry. I'm hearing
people
by.
Can see it. It was how many people, how many TVs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they're like, oh, well, you're using it promotionally, so maybe you're going to get more people. So they're like projecting, like how many households they. So basically, for that club to have it was $5,000 anytime they wanted a UFC, and they're like, it doesn't generate that much.
Well, I mean
it's a gentleman's club, not an ale house. So
yeah, I guess. But let's stop there for a second. Let me give you a chance. Introduce yourself, Ben. We ran right over that. Let's give a shout out to Fight Tape.
Hi.
Do your thing.
Oh, hi. I am Ben Stark, 3rd degree black belt and head coach of American Top Team Palm Beach Gardens, the absolute best in mixed martial arts training in the North Palm Beach area. If you are in the market for some training, well, you already know where to go. American Top Team Palm Beach Gardens. Now, for our
just so that you know, this got to make sense to you. So he's also a commentator for Combat Night. So
could not tell.
This is it. I don't know if you knew that he's a.
Hey, you got shows up north. Holler at your boy.
Yeah.
we have a lot of shows up north. MMA scene's blown up.
Hey,
the voice of Combat Night.
Yes. Oh, where was I? Oh, Fight Tape. You do jiu-jitsu. Do you jiu-jitsu as well?
I do jiu-jitsu.
Do jiu-jitsu.
I do jiu-jitsu.
Do your fingers ever hurt you, bro?
All the time.
Man, if your fingers are for hurting to jiu-jitsu, you can use the tips. You can rips and helping the fingers for more stronger to the gripping. Man, is a fight tape that US can do for you. Very easy. Many tape, many guaus.
You do that too.
Guaus.
And by the way, that's out of respect for everyone. Like that's
it's
out
an
of respect.
homage.
Yeah, that was good.
Sure. Go to fighttape.us. Get some tape.
And I always like to say it's we throw it up on the screen, but it's the Instagram is fighttape.us. Put it in dot, and then it's also
yes, sir.
The website is Fight Tape.
Easy to remember.
I like that this is held by the Fight Tape.
It's the Fight Tape. I'll figure out how to make it stay where I can just put the thing in my bag.
Now I know you just did it and you split it in half, which is what most people do. Do you have plans? I don't want to add, right? Do you have plans to make like the thinner one at all?
Once we get more of a consistent sales base and things are like really flowing through, because I have to hold all the gauze and tape and it takes up a ton of room.
Okay.
So if I have a constant like
how big are these shipments that you? I mean, it's a shipment?
Like 1,000 something per.
1,000 rolls.
1,000 rolls per.
How many
gauze tape? If I'm doing the half cuts, I think I have to do 2,000 because it's like the same size.
Well, you're doing that and the gauze too, right? So
yeah. So like in my storage room at my gym, it's like 2 shelves packed, like 1 box broken in, and then I have to take other boxes to my house so I have more space.
I kind of like this though, because if you need it for a certain area, you have the full tape. If you need it for your fingers, you can manage it yourself.
Very manageable, easy tear.
Very adaptable, just like you should be in jiu-jitsu.
In the jiu-jitsu, bro. Is very important.
Somebody was comparing fingers at my gym, like, hey, let me see your hands. And I'm like,
you train with those nails?
No, I'm good at cutting them. I didn't train. Thursday's usually my day. I didn't train last. Yeah, it was just too much going on. We're going to talk about what was like my mind got blown. Let me give a Flow and Roll a shout out, and then we'll get into the craziness that is going on in jiu-jitsu right now. So check out our friends over at Flow and Roll. Hands down, the best custom gi and no-gi gear in the business. You can visit them on Instagram at flow_n_roll. You can check out the custom designs that they do for academies across the country. Just to note, like, you can order your stuff in bulk, obviously. You can order online and get your gis and belts and no-gi gear.
I heard they do custom fits for competitors.
But they also do, like, your fighters, if they need just one rash guard or a couple of rash guards for their fights, put their sponsors on, you can reach out.
That's awesome.
There's a custom form that pops up. A gym owner can fill that out, or a competitor can fill that out, and they'll do your gear for that fight. So they're great at that. Gym owners, you can stock up on your gis and no-gi kits at flowandroll.com as well. Again, that form will pop up. They still offer like a pre-order program. So like if you were a new gym owner, you can, look at the dog just pissing on the flowers.
It's a very distracting dog. You guys can't see it. This dog is like 4 feet tall. It has like
It's on its own. It's just out there by itself.
It's got a shag mop.
That's a perm.
No tags. We're in a very fancy shopping center.
Definitely a Boca dog. That's
And
a Boca dog.
it's just peeing on very nice artistic vases.
I think
just in the
that
street.
might be that guy that art shop
Fancy.
that art studio right there.
from New
I think that's his dog. I think that might be his dog.
That
Probably.
is.
It would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So anyway, so Flow and Roll, right? They do a pre-order program still. So like you're a brand new gym owner, or you're a gym owner.
Or a podcaster.
Well, no, you're buying in bulk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do
or
you
just
buy-
just a
do you buy
handsome
your
fella.
stuff in bulk?
I did do a quick release with Epic Roll. We kind of
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm always looking for
Epic Roll does, we work with them on the Academy Safe side, so they're doing some stuff with us there. Same thing, they have like stores and things like that they'll put online. Flow and Roll does something a little bit different, where new gym owner, or again existing gym owner too, but it's mostly to help out somebody that's like, hey, you need to like gear up, and you got all the costs of getting your mats and your rent and stuff. So for a few $100, they do the designs, right? Put them online. Your students can shop there. It's a pre-order, so they're going to collect all the orders, take that money, and now they've charged what the gym owner would charge, right? So there's a profit in that.
for sure.
He takes the profit and he applies it to what the gym owner would order on top of what his students are ordering to hold inventory in the gym. Does that make sense, right?
So it takes the design away from the gym owner. It takes all, like, it lets
maybe
them
you get
focus on
25 students, order gis, belts, some gear, right? The profit from that, any of your custom stuff. So like, let's just say the gi, you order a gi and there's X amount of dollars in profit. That profit set to the side and will be used to now order your large order, including getting the pre-orders, their orders, and then sending the gym their inventory. So for just a few $100, you basically, your students and supporters are they pay for that order. That might be $5-10 grand. So you don't have to lay that out if you don't want to. That's what Flow and Roll does. It's a great opportunity for people to work with a good company, but at the same time, not lay out thousands of dollars. If you don't sell a lot, yeah, you might have to pay just the balance. But the idea is to get enough orders. If you as a gym owner advertise it, talk about it in the gym, talk about it on Instagram, you could then, you just paid a couple $100, you get your gear, and you probably, depending on how many orders you get, you might not have to lay
and your
out
school
anything.
looks all together. Look at that.
Everything looks good. So again, flowandroll.com, check them out. If you're just going to order some gis or just some like items online, you get 20% off with code JJD. All right. So let's talk about the crazy Ish. Definitely would love your input on this stuff. Bringing you in, we're going to definitely talk about you, but we have to just get this out of the way.
Wait, before we do
this is a big deal. Go ahead.
Before we do this, did your parents name you Ish?
No. I'm going to go through, I go through this every podcast I go to. So my name is actually Ismail.
Okay.
Yeah. That face, that's why I don't go by.
It's an old. No, I got you.
Try to say it.
So, Ishmael.
Ismail.
So hold on.
Okay.
What is our background? Are we talking Latin?
Puerto Rican. So I'm Puerto Rican.
No, I mean, like language lies. Like Ishmael is a biblical name.
Yeah. So I believe it's Hebrew or no, Arabic. Arabic?
Same, but different region.
Don't look at me.
It's not from Puerto Rico. I'll tell you that
German.
much.
I don't know. That's all I know.
So I would go by Ishmael in school, but there's no H in it. And then that would turn into Ismail, or
God, Ismail would have been hard in high school, man.
well,
So when you just say it without an accent, how do you say your full name? For the whites.
Ismail.
Ismail.
But you
go
say
by
Ish? I mean,
Ish.
you go by Ish.
I go by Ish because in English it's Ishmael, which people look at me confused with that. So I
Even
just say
without
Ish.
the H, it's supposed to be Ishmael.
Yeah.
Ishmael.
So then I go by
Ishmael.
Which the more I say it, the weirder my name sounds.
As soon as I said, well, who did they name you Ishmael? Like, oh, it's Ishmael. As soon as it came out of my mouth, like, duh.
So I just go by Ish.
I didn't share any information with you or put him in there as Ishmael. I put Ish.
But realistically, Ish
blind date
could
right
only stand for Ishmael.
Yeah, I thought it was a strange question when it was coming out of your mouth.
I smoke pot, man. What do you want?
That helps.
I'm used to it already.
So I go by Ish, and even that, like you order a coffee or something, they're like Ish. So, I'm like, it's 3 letters. Like I can't make it easier for you.
You're gonna call me the wrong name anyway.
Yeah.
Before we go into a deep dive on what I want to talk about, which I just feel like we need to get out of the way because it's just in the news on Instagram, it's on Reddit, it's blowing up. I'm getting tons of messages about it. We'll say what that is in a second. Go ahead, like we were joking before about all the things that you do. Go ahead and give everybody your resume. What do you call it? Like your bona fides.
I love doing this. I'm a full-time officer in the Pittsburgh-area. New CERT member, special response team. So it's some places call them SWAT, operator there. Jiu Jitsu started about 4 or 5 years ago. 3-year blue belt, 1 year on injury reserve.
I like that when I asked you, like you said 3-year blue belt, because that's just like, yeah, I'm supposed to be a purple belt.
No.
My coach is stupid.
No.
Anything.
Like I'm not the typical new blue. Like I'm not 2 years.
It's
at
actually
white
the opposite. I make it as a joke because it's like I'm still a blue belt for a reason.
Wait, how many stripes are on that blue belt?
We don't do stripes once you get blue.
I actually thought
we don't do stripes.
I thought in your case, which is for a lot of police officers, that they might not train gi. They're like a lot of times they're just training no gi, so like they're not necessarily getting belted the same way. So that's actually what I thought.
The way we do it. Shout out Stout PGH. I got to give them a shout out because they're huge on like even a open gym or something. Our coaches know who the cops are, and they'll come and they'll show us a technique, and they're like, "Hey, for you, this is how you can apply this with your belt and vest, and like you want to watch these type of grips that are coming." So they're very in tune and intentional with how they train everyone. So if you're a competitor, you're not getting belted up like Susan, who's coming in on Wednesdays as a hobby. And
shout out to Susan.
You know what I mean? Shout out Susan.
Big up, Susan.
I don't know who Susan is, but and then as a cop, you're going to get belted different too, right? So as soon as you become blue belt, it's like show us you can one, defend yourself, show us you're applying principle, and show us that So they have these metrics for cops, metrics for competitors, metrics for just a hobbyist. So like when you see someone else get belted up, you're like, why did he get belted up?
I don't know. Like at a point once, when I was at when I got my brown belt, I was just like, when I got brown, I was like, you want the belt so bad, I think up to purple. And then at purple, you're like, oh shit, the responsibility and then the target on your back from like the higher belts, the black.
That happened at blue, man.
It's well, I mean, people probably know you're an officer, look at you, you're not like some skinny kid just like doing jujitsu, like a boogers hanging out of your nose. Yeah, it's like, okay. Again, why? Yeah, blue belt,
Was no one else excited about the target on their back as they leveled up?
No.
I'm saying the excitement of getting the belt. I was like, I want it. I was supposed to get my brown belt right before COVID, blow out my knee the day before we go into the day we went into quarantine, and then I didn't get it I was supposed to get it in that July. I blew out my knee. What was that, like February, March? So then I waited another 2 years. So it was like, but I didn't train for 9 months and go back, and then I waited. But when I went back, and then I was like, damn, I've been off. And then I'm thinking I'm going to get it. And I'm like, then he holds it forever. But if at that level, I kind of felt just like, going to get the brown. And now they, certain schools, now are you helping coach and you're doing certain things, and which he really didn't. He didn't let anybody coach, but he didn't have a lot of higher belts. I was one of the higher belts there. And lo and behold, if you know my story, we don't have a lot of higher belts because they leave when they found out that he was being a dirtbag. But you didn't know at the lower belts. But once you got at the higher belts and you started to hear stuff from other gyms and things like that, it was, that's why there's no higher belt. That's why I'm the only brown belt, or, one of a handful of brown belts, because a lot of people leave. We had like no black belts when we got promoted. No active brown belts or black belts. All of the black belts, there were like 5 of us that got promoted at the same time at that gym, and that's when there were black belts. He had the academy for like 10 plus years. You have no black belts that come to train. Yeah. Besides visiting black belts, you have no on the books, active,
In-house
come every
black belts.
day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday guy. None of that. We were those guys. We were the brown belts. We were always the highest belts. And then again, any of the black belts, that it was him, his wife, a coach, maybe the coach's son was a black belt and trained. He came from fight sports down in Miami. So, target on my back. Again, I was still one of the higher belts, but I just kind of felt the responsibility. I feel like, in a silly way, like it weighed on me a little bit. Like, oh shit, and then you go through the whole like imposter syndrome, kind of like, am I good? My black belt versus the 20-year-old black belt, 50 freaking, at the time I was 50. I'm not the fucking same black belt as this kid. This kid's wrapping me up and tying me into a pretzel.
Different people.
Anyway, I mean, that's the way I felt about it.
He's
but,
got a 600
now I don't give a
credit
shit. Now I'm just like, I'm in a room with 15 black belts on a Monday. Now it's just like, I think it's like a real good test, and I do well. So I'm super comfortable. But there's some of those guys, like there's a 24-year-old black belt that's been training since he was like 6. Nobody.
He's also not telling you that he's 19
He's incredible.
feet tall.
He's 6'4", 250.
See, a black belt, or is he just tall? No, I'm kidding.
He's a fucking monster. He's huge.
I'm telling Marshall.
I
Marshall,
drilled
shout out
him.
to Marshall if anybody hears this. If anybody's listening from my school, he's amazing. He's great. I avoid him like the plague. I actually just rolled with him last week. I've been like, all right, I've been avoiding you long enough. I go, let me take my medicine, and we roll. And it's just like, he could just
His gas tank is probably unlimited too.
Oh, it's like a cat playing with a little
crazy.
freaking like a little ball.
At that age, they're all cheating. Their natural test levels are so high.
Oh, they're skyrocketed.
Yeah, it's cheating in and of itself.
You shouldn't be here. Get out.
Yeah.
Go stay with your own age.
Wow, that ringing.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Quit beating up the old guys.
So let's go back to your resume.
blue belt officer. Just got on with Seminar Stack. Shout out Eric and Kate. They're doing amazing things as their operations guy. So kind of overseeing event day but like in my role, I try to do everything and anything I can to help.
Yeah.
So
That's where we met. We met at the
we
event
actually
up in
met
PA.
at this last one. So they give me the opportunity, and then podcasts, obviously the Relentless Project, got to plug myself in. So I appreciate you inviting me here because
man.
I don't like to talk about myself. I love talking and hearing about people. So then when you're on the other side of the table, it's like, but it's cool because like with the Relentless Project, we just talk to anyone and everyone about what they're doing, why they're doing it, what motivates them. Like people
It's not jiu-jitsu specific,
no, but
or law enforcement specific,
but
or?
it's not. But the funny thing is, the majority of the people I've talked to, fighters, grapplers, entrepreneurs, actors, producers,
cops, right?
cops.
Yeah. Did Daniel Herrera did he go up and do it?
Yeah, he went and did it. And if you see the theme of what a lot of these people do, they train some sort of martial arts. They're in the gym. No one comes on the podcast saying, "Oh, I was born into this amazing life, had this amazing life, and that's why I'm doing amazing."
Yeah.
Like we all go through something that's got us to where we're at and why we're doing it.
Yeah.
So it's like I look at the themes and I'm like I'm actually I wasn't supposed to say this, but I'm writing a book. It's called Not Good Enough.
Okay.
So I'm in the process of that, and it's about the gap, right? Where we are versus where we want to be. And I'm taking the stories of every guest. I'm at 123 right now, so every guest I've had, and I'm just like compiling this. Like, how did these people get to where they're at, so that the reader listening can look at it and be like, man, so there's really no excuse for me. This is just what. So that you can kind of diagnose yourself.
Yeah,
that's the plan. I'm not an author, so I'm figuring out as I go. But yeah, podcast host, real estate, family man.
So just as a little bit of a side note, love putting people together. I think you should probably reach out to friend of the show, Scott Burr. He helped write Worth Defending, which was the Richard Bressler book. The guy that helped start the UFC was the guy that wrote the check. He was Horian Gracie's first official blue belt. I say official because there might have been other people that trained, but he was Horian Gracie's first blue belt. They lived together. He's the guy that helped him get not only start the school but start the UFC. He wrote the check, borrowed money from his parents. It's a great book. Scott just put out a book with Ben Chen, who was on the show as well. I forget the exact name of it. I'm sorry, guys, but principles that jiu-jitsu principles that really kind of flow into business. So that we had Ben on. We had Scott back for the second time for that. He's helping Dirty Dozen guy. Chris Howder.
Chris Howder.
He's, you know who Chris Howder is? He's one of the original, he's part of the Dirty Dozen, the first 12 black belts in the United States. He's one of the Dirty Dozen. He's apparently just closing his school after like decades, but he like does it at the house, but I think he's closing his school.
So what
he's Combat Base is the name of his gym. He's an author.
Okay.
So he's an author himself. He's written, like he was like this. He specialized in like nonfiction, but he's a black belt. He's like a high level black belt. I think judo black belt, jiu jitsu black belt, and then I think he's in like some type of a karate discipline.
Not enough
as well.
black belts for him apparently.
Yeah, like he's got no time in his hands. So anyway, so like I mean, he could either like come in and like he co-authored the 2 books that I just mentioned. He's co-authoring, I think, Chris's book, and what it is people that none of those guys were authors. So they come to him with like, this is the idea, or I wrote this book, and then he comes in and he makes it better. He'll go through. He's, you know, an author by trade, by schooling. He's an author. He's a writer. And at worst, you can kind of, you know, hey, I need to make this better. Could you give me some tips? Put me together when you get to the publishing side. Like he can come in at any of those points. So I know like he's putting out like old fiction that he wrote now that he has a bigger name. He's putting out his fiction. Which doesn't necessarily have anything to do with jiu-jitsu.
He's getting fun with it.
Yeah, he's like going back and going, now I'm getting popular and people are coming to me to help them write their books. Again, you know, it's jiu-jitsu guys. We're not like, you know, necessarily authors, but we've got a good story. You can get with him, write it out.
With that.
No. Oh, you thought I was going to make a joke at your expense? Nah. But yeah, it's, you know, if you want me to put you together, I'll put you together.
Yeah, set us up.
When you're either like when you're ready, or yeah, hey, do you need tips going in, or like, hey, I wrote it. I think it's ready, but I know that it needs another. You know, somebody's got to help me, like, you know, make this better.
It's always like when you put something out, right? Like you're putting something out, and you're like, is it ready? And then you have everyone in your friend group going, it's ready, and you're like, I don't think it's ready.
Yeah,
and you give yourself excuses, right? So I think I developed a skeleton.
You feel like you're there?
No. So I want to make it a small book that people can like pick up, read it within a day or two. I was like 50 pages. I've been at it for what? Couple
345 pages.
No, 50 pages, right?
How many pages is he at?
25. No.
See, but that's where somebody like Scott Burr would come in and be like, hey,
Shed some of this.
Yeah, like this can go, or maybe, hey, look, this is its own book. This is its own idea. I believe that's what he's going through with Chris Howder. You said you don't know who Chris Howder is.
No.
Follow Chris Howder, and you'll understand. He is like, I've never met him, but I've watched him. If you ask him a question like about this phone, sit down and grab a pen, because he's going to tell you about this phone for about an hour. Like he's so knowledgeable. Scott said that he would sit on the mat and he would just walk around him and just like verbally throw up on him with so much information. And I think Scott was like taking notes, and it led to him helping him get these, like, wrangle all the ideas and then turn it into a book, which is supposed to be coming out. I don't know if they're at the publishing phase, but he did say like he gave Chris the last, he believes it's always the final version.
Yeah, the final version.
I've given him the final version, so he's waiting for Chris. But when you see Chris and hear him speak, you'll go, "Oh, this guy is like a freaking savant." Like you'll understand. Like, oh wow, he just
make the connection.
He's a never-ending book in and of itself.
And his presentation's like gruff, kind of angry grandpa.
So he means it. It's intentional.
The funniest thing that I saw when he talks about grabbing the arm, when you're grabbing like the arm and the gi, and he's like, "And for you white belts, don't fucking grab the skin." Like, you know, like he's very like.
Monotone.
Intentional and
he's like he's like a happy version of the old man in Gran Torino.
I know who you're talking about. I haven't seen the movie, but I understand what you mean.
You've never seen Gran Torino?
I've never seen the movie.
Fantastic.
It's a Clint Eastwood, right? Yeah.
He's like an angry, curmudgeon-y old bastard who hates everything. If you made him like happy and love jujitsu, it seems like that's Chris Howder.
So Chris Howder, Scott Burr. I know Scott Burr's Instagram handle is I think he started a new page at Scott Burr. At Scott Burr, Burr, author. And then he owns Enclave Jiu-Jitsu, so that's one of his handles as well. Worth the thing. I'll give you like everything, look at it, and then I'll make kind of like digest it so you know you get what you're getting into, and then I'll even send you the Chris Howder stuff, and then I'll put you together. We actually talked to him, but like he's like, yeah, I'll talk to anybody.
I'll wait till the episode drops, and then hey, what's up, bro?
Yeah, no, that's a smart idea. Like, you know,
who's this guy?
He's great. I'm hope he has. Who did he say was in Florida? He's like, I go to Florida. I'm like, next time you come here, like, come in. I didn't know that you were traveling down here to train. There's one of his crew, somebody in the crew. it's not Hickson doesn't have a location here, but who do you remember who it was?
There's a couple Hicks and Gracie schools in the state. But I couldn't tell you.
He's said like I've trained like I think like closer. He's in Palm Beach Gardens with his like West Palm Beach. What are you about an hour away from here?
Yeah, 45 minutes.
So it's a little bit further north. And anyway, so he's gonna. I hope to have him in, and that'll be his third visit on the show. So that's really cool, good, like super knowledgeable about jiu-jitsu.
We got the weekend. We got the weekend.
Yeah,
all the
we'll talk about
stuff.
it. So, police officer, SRT, real estate agent, broker, agent, author. We're adding author, podcaster.
I mean, so I Googled you a second ago, and you can back me up here. Certified snuggle bear?
In jiu-jitsu.
I've always asked this question, and since K, right? Do you just go by K or no? I met you before. I'm sorry. I'm like, I saw your Instagram. And I'm like, were we calling her K? And then one
comes out.
So I guess I asked you the question, but I'm gonna kind of look at her. Like, one of the difficult things in my relationship when I was married was I was doing so much, and then it's just like, how are these like new ideas received from your significant other? Is there ever a point where she's just like, really? Another idea? Really?
No,
you got to do this thing?
No, it's actually very positive. To the point where I feel like...
Am I right? Like, you're like, what are you doing now? No? You're like super supportive?
House.
You're like, go do it. Rock and roll.
I'm tired of doing dishes all day.
Is she like, go get him, Tiger?
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, in my past relationships, it's been the opposite, right? Like, we always talk about balance. And, you gotta, how do you balance your family and this and this and this and this and this and this? And it was taken away from a lot of things. And, the more people I talk to, like a lot of the people I surround myself with don't do the things I do. It's very few times that I'm in rooms like this where people are like, well, this is what we do.
Aw.
Hi.
Rooms like this. That he's talking about. He's saying we're cool too.
Yeah, you're all right. But then I would, the longer I did the podcast, the more these guests I got involved with and spoke to and bounced ideas off of, I've noticed like what balance truly is just managing chaos and prioritizing. So there's moments where I'm taking like jiu-jitsu. I haven't hit jiu-jitsu hard in the past 6 months. It's very like walk in when you can kind of thing because I'm prioritizing all these other things.
Sure.
But then that's my goal. So like then the priorities change. So it's managing that. And every time I'm sure she's like another one. But what comes out is always like, oh, you could do it. Like it's coming out like the book. This is all blabber on a page, and I'm bringing it. She's like, oh, like yes, fantastic. Like let's do it. Or she'll look at it and be like, you should change it. Like she's giving me advice too. So
my problem was always I didn't prioritize. I just added it, and it was just like everything was a priority. But somebody told like if everything's a priority, then nothing's a priority, right? So I know that my personal problem was I would just add, like I said, the bucket. I'm adding water into the bucket, and nothing was like nothing was coming out, which like something has to stop. I actually had this conversation yesterday where I said, you know what? I was having a conversation with a friend about mental health, his mental health. I was trying to have a conversation, I should say, with someone and kind of like, hey, you don't have to do all these things. And I was comparing that like, hey, I would like add things on. And yesterday was one of the first days I was supposed to launch the podcast. I'm like, you know what? I want to do it right. I'm going to do it on Monday. Last night, a lot going on, what we're going to talk about. Like I started getting phone calls about what we're about to talk about. And I was just like, I can't go to jiu-jitsu. I can't go to jiu-jitsu. We have to talk about this. I have to understand this. We got to talk about it on the podcast tomorrow. It has to be spoken about. And, but I usually don't do that. I usually be like, fuck, all right, I guess I'm going to be up late tonight. Let me go to jiu-jitsu. So literally saying no to stuff, like no to some of the other things that I would normally be doing, but it all feeds this, what I do, jiu-jitsu, the podcast, Academy Safe, Black Belt Digital Marketing.
And that brings me to the word relentless, right? Like that's my podcast.
Yeah.
People think relentless is hitting everything 100% until you have nothing left.
Yeah.
That's where burnout comes. That's where depression, mental health, all that stuff. Like relentless is just going and pivoting when you need to pivot with that same attitude, right? So like you can't go to jiu-jitsu today because this is a priority. Boom, you handle that and then back to jiu-jitsu. It's not quitting jiu-jitsu because I got this to deal with, so now I just got to throw this away. It's managing.
I was very bad at managing I am the business when it's black belt. I am, now it's Ben's here with me, but the podcast, I was the podcast. I came up with the Academy Safe idea. So it's just like, I have to be there. It's not like other people can just, hey, Ben, do the podcast today, and I'm not going to be there. Or, I got a whole bunch of work done this morning. I got payroll done this morning. Those are things that I have to do. Certain things that I haven't been able to pass off to anybody yet, but I've always just packed it on myself. I've done it to myself.
I'm the same way.
And I didn't realize how that was affecting the people around me. Like, I sold it as, well, I'm doing this for us, right? You want to travel the world? Well, I got to do this thing because this is how we make money to do that. But wasn't realizing that, oh, wow, I wasn't being the cuddle bear, as much as I could have.
It's like a deposit, right? Like you make all the withdrawals, but you have to deposit if you want money in the bank, right?
Is he depositing?
I deposit
in a non-sexual way. I just realized as I said it, I'm like, is he depositing? Whoa,
no, but
sorry.
No, it's like everything. You can't just take, right? Like in your businesses, you can't ask your employees or your partners or your friends 1,000 favors and you're not investing in them. Or in any way, I'm not saying money, right? Like me, I do a lot of trade. Because I do have
bartering.
Bartering. Oh yeah,
bartering.
Big in bartering, right? So a lot of the fighters come on, and I understand they're looking for, they have camps they have to pay for and all this and that, and I'm like, hey, I could provide you an entire media package. Wear my logo on your shorts. Talk about the podcast if it's something you want to do. If you believe in it, I don't want to just trade for the sake of trading, but like if you believe in it, I'll do your media packages. So that's stuff I do because we can,
Yeah.
As an academy owner, you work hard to build trust with your students, their parents, and your community. But trust isn't something you claim, it's something you prove and earn. That's where Academy Safe comes in. We help academies like yours stand out with verified safety standards. Background checks for all staff, U.S. Center for Safe Sport certification, concussion training, defibrillators on site, CPR, first aid and AED certification, security cameras, rank and lineage checks, and verification of business insurance. Join the trusted martial arts registry that's redefining safety throughout North America. Lead by example. Show parents you're accredited with Academy Safe.
Special thank you to the crew over at Flow and Roll for all their support. Flow and Roll is renowned for their incredible no-gi rash guards, shorts, and leggings. Flow and Roll has quickly become the premier custom apparel provider for academies big and small throughout the United States. Reach out today to discuss your custom order and ask about their incredible pre-order program. You can send an email to flowandroll@gmail.com or visit their Instagram at flow_n_roll and shoot them a direct message. And yes, they can create an awesome custom gi for your academy as well. Visit flowandroll.com to check out their awesome designs, and remember, you'll get 20% off your purchase of t-shirts, rash guards, or gis with code JJD.
Is your business getting lost online? Black Belt Digital Marketing is a full-service digital marketing agency that helps you get found, get leads, and grow. We specialize in local and website SEO, so your business stands out when customers search. Our website SEO makes sure your site loads fast, ranks high, and stays ahead of AI-driven search, so customers find you first. More visibility, more clicks. More customers right when they're ready to buy. Grow your business online with Black Belt Digital Marketing. Visit bbdigitalmarketing.com or call 9542-204932 today.
I was actually I've been running the idea through my head about like sponsoring fighters, and your two guys keep on coming up in my mind. It's like, okay, they're amateurs, like what could we do? Because we don't have I want it to be Academy Safe. Academy Safe doesn't have a lot of money to be spending like that, but what could we do? And when I think about it in the scenario in my head, I'm thinking about your two fighters. I don't know their first names. I know their handles, Quasar and right. So I'm like, they're in my mind of like, how could we do this? Help them out. Is it putting them together with Flow and Roll? Is it like, helping them with their gear, but I don't want to step on any relationship you guys might have. But I've been thinking about that. Like, I would love to start to see Academy Safe, because it's all martial arts. It's not just jiu-jitsu.
Well, Corey's completed his Academy Safe. Kurt has just turned 18, so he's got to do his background check.
Okay.
But once
let
he
Brandy
does,
know.
then they'll both be Academy Safe.
Yeah, on top of it. I didn't kind of even think of it like that. I just want to sponsoring, but that might be the better way to do it, is like, if you're a coach and you're a fighter and you're competing, then we do it. Like, duh. Cool. That makes a lot of sense.
No, that was easy. So yeah, settle.
Yeah. So we'll talk about it tomorrow. I'm like really trying to considering it and figuring out what to do. So yeah, man. So I relate. I don't think I'm doing as much as you.
No, I mean, you're doing your own. I mean, Academy Safe alone, like what just came up.
Yeah, let's
you could
let's
be
talk
doing
about
nothing because you put these systems in place, and then here's this bomb that you have to now navigate. So
yeah,
tell us about the bomb, because you just sent me the messages. We're walking up, and I'm like,
I'm gonna preface this with the fact that I would never talk about something if it wasn't already out there. It's out there. People are going to be looking at it, so we can talk about it. Andre Galval and other coaches at Atos HQ are being accused of molesting children. That's, the short of it. If you go to Academy Safe, we just shared something to our story today. This is going to come out in about a week and a half. So we're recording. It's 1:30. It's January 30th, 2026. This is going to come out in a week. I'm sure a lot's going to have come out in that time, but getting a phone call like that, like, hey, an Academy Safe member who's adding coaches to his, he's hired some new people, is telling me, hey, what do you guys know about this? What's your involvement? What will you do? Asking like legitimate questions. He's a newer member, and it's like, hey, what happens with something like this? He wasn't outing anybody. He was just like, hey, have you guys seen this? And Brandy, who does the onboarding, sent me a message. Now I get with Rob, our VP, who's the owner of the McDojo Life brand, doing completing their documentary right now. He's out in Cali filming the documentary. So you've interviewed Rob,
Yeah, good dude.
So I mentioned it to him. He's like, yeah, this has been out there before. I'm like, okay. And he adds to that. He goes, if you look at some of the threads, it's usually the same person posting that, but now it's made it to Instagram. Now I've had at least 3 or 4 people send me this already that are like, hey, have you seen this? Have you seen this? And for the first time, I shared a video that somebody put out with like the accusation just to our stories. Well, will I share something to the feed later? Will we put out something or a statement? Maybe, but it's crazy. I got that after what we were dealing with during the day was we had somebody send us a message. They want to remain anonymous about a Kung Fu Sifu that was convicted of child molestation and just got fired from his academy, but was outed. And I guess, didn't report that, that he's on the sex offender registry, didn't report that he had been convicted. Nobody knew, hiding in plain sight.
And how did you find that out? If you go through the background check.
Yeah. If they would have done a background check, this is one of those situations where if they would have done a background check, we would have known. I say that, and I also make sure when I'm talking about Academy Safe that I say we can't stop somebody from doing something shitty. We just can't. We can't stop somebody from doing something shitty in the future. Background check's not going to stop that. But what is going to stop it is something that we talked about, which is, doing the safe sport certification, the background check, and some of the other things. You're now talking about it in the gym. So if you're somebody who thinks they're hiding in plain sight, like especially the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, which talks about grooming and bullying and what to watch out for. My mic just went out. I got it, Ryan. I'll stop touching it. So
he's back to like this guy.
So I forgot what I was saying.
They're talking about it in the gym.
They're talking about it. Yeah. So like you're like in my gym, he even says it in his gym. He'll be like, "Hey, is that Academy Safe?" Like it's on people's mind, and you're thinking about it. And now like this coach. If I do something stupid, or I think I might have gotten away with it in the past, this guy knows what to watch out for. He knows the wait a minute moments. Like, why is that coach always with that girl? He's an adult. Yeah. She's 14, 12, whatever age. Why are they always together? Is she crushing on him? Is she following him around? Or is he like doing, right? So that becomes when, it's, what do they say? Sunlight is the best disinfectant, which is what we're doing. We're pulling back the shades and saying, look, shining light on all these academies, good and bad, and say, hey, you need to be looking out for these things. So I think that's where we really come in. And in this case, with the person who sent us this anonymous email with like images, link, like she went deep. Like, here is proof, and like proof of him on the mats, being invited to events, Facebook posts. Like, look, she did the research. And with something like that, yeah, a background check would have pulled that guy out. So anybody that says this wouldn't work, or
what you're doing is creating a culture, right? You're creating a positive culture. Like you said, it's not going to 100% stop things from happening, but as a cop, right? People should respect the badge and gun, right? That's the old school mentality. I show up, I deserve respect, right? That's gone. What are you going to do to ensure safety? Your presence is no longer a thing. You have to train. You have to exercise. You have to have your mind right. Does that mean you're going to go to work and make it home 100% every day? No, but your chances of doing that increase because you're taking the proper measures to take care of yourself and those around you. Same with what your system you're doing. If this gym is going through the process of doing a background check, screening their instructors, they're going through this process, they're more than likely going to be the same people who call something out when they see it. If they're willing to do all this, they're probably about that life. So they're probably going to call it out. If a gym hits you up with, nah, we don't need any of that, they're probably not going to be the folks to call that out.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we don't get it too often, but we've gotten a handful, can count on one hand how many people who are like, or the only other thing that we get, it's very rare that we get anybody with any pushback. Like, oh yeah, maybe the cost is the pushback, but there's nobody that can debate that this is a step in the right direction. The only other thing that we get is, oh, I'm already doing this with the IBJJF. No, you're not. If you're registering your black belt with IBJJF, you have to do the background check and the Safe Sport, the U.S. Center for Safe Sport certification. That's it. We're talking about owner and all your employees. Anybody over 18 that we can do a background check.
I didn't even know IBJJF did that. So they're only doing the athlete that gets.
They only do it if you want to register your black belt with them. So like, there's no mandate, right? If you want to compete, and anybody can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. So I went to go sign up. Like, you can register and not have to do a background check. If you want to register your black belt, there's like you have to go through a test. There are things that you have to do: background check, U.S. Center for Safe Sport certification, and then there's a certification of your black belt where I think you actually have to come in and like do moves with another IBJJF like ref or black belt.
Man,
like there's more to it. Like, okay, when the event's in town, you have to go and show them that you know what the fuck you're doing, right? So it goes that much further. But again, that's great. You're registering your black belt with the IBJJF. You're not doing anything
what about
else.
Your school, yeah,
your school.
That's good.
That's what we're worried about, right? The majority of people in jiu-jitsu are not competing. It's not half. It's maybe 25%, maybe if that. Yeah, probably. I think I'm being generous. So the amount of people that are actually competing is so low. And then you're only getting the black belts who want to register with you and go through that process. Somebody made the joke early on. I was just like, I don't know why the IBJJF isn't doing this. He goes, yeah, because they lose half their members. There would be nobody at these events.
Allegedly.
And okay, look, it depends on what you're looking for. Like, we're looking for sexual assault, domestic violence. We're looking for felonies with, assaults against, women, children. Like, is it a violent assault? Right? If you get caught with weed, you misdemeanor, like, okay, look, that's so prevalent.
Depending on what state you're at.
Yeah, was it, you had a bag or you had a fucking truckload? Like, what are we talking about? Like, we've only had to look into that side once. If somebody, like, if they fail the background check, we have to look at it and like, what is it? I've had people know that they're not going to pass a background check or what's going to come up. I have friends that say, I'm sorry, I can't do this with you because I had a felony when I was 19. The guy's like 50 something. So we're trying to figure out too, as an organization, like, do we put that through some type of review and then say, all right, again, it wasn't sexual assault. It's nothing, there are no crimes against minors. What do we do? We're going to have to, as an organization, address that and develop that. We're only a year and change, year and a few months old. So what are we going to do with those things? And do we make it, I don't want to say easier, but there's one situation where it was the guy that told me like he couldn't, he's going to fail a background check. He was, I think, 19. Are we good on that camera? Are we recording? Is it out?
Blooper reel.
Read like the first one because we were already kind of chatting.
And a beatboxer. Jesus Christ. What can he do?
I rhyme and I rip.
I rip and I rhyme, I rhyme and I rip.
Cream cheese right now.
Dude, I'm starving.
Split banana 3 ways.
I'm allergic.
You allergic to bananas?
That's
Really?
another thing. I'm
Is it
allergic
really?
to bananas.
So now you know.
So what happens
if you
when
want
you
to
eat a
kill them?
banana?
You know what to do, right?
What happens when you eat a banana?
Here's some banana.
I'm not like deathly allergic. My like throat closes up. It gets itchy.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't like.
I get that from
have to-
weed.
Die.
Do you have to shoot?
From
Do
weed,
you have
you
to
said?
like?
Oh, so you get
Do you
that
have
from
to shoot
weed? That
something?
sucks.
Yeah.
You have to shoot something?
Nah, I just avoid it.
Heroin, no
yeah,
big deal.
Yeah. Okay, the good stuff.
I'm allergic to avocados. It's horrible.
All right. So sorry if this cut feels weird, or if we're talking about the same thing again. We had a camera issue. I feel so like Rogan. You know, like Rogan's constantly having problems on the last ones with like something going out on
Hey.
the show. We just like copying everything now.
Listen
like-
here, Jamie.
Well,
Pull
keep
that
it-
up.
Do it live. Do it
so let's
live.
go back here. So we're saying we'll start with like the IBJJF side. So we were talking about IBJJF. One of the biggest things that we get pushback on, I mentioned we would get very few people say, can't, I don't think this is a good idea to get a background check. Like, oh, I wouldn't do it. Like very few people have said that. And you said, you know, a lot of times when they do that, you got to wonder, what are they hiding? Right. The main pushback that we get is that I'm doing this someplace else, specifically with the IBJJF, where they'll register a black belt. I know you can become a member of IBJJF, and I don't believe you have to do the background check. But then if you want to register your black belt with them, you have to get a background check, Center for Safe Sport, and then there's literally like some testing that you would do. I guess if they come through town, you've got to go to an event. They'll literally test you there.
I've never heard about that.
Me
I just
either.
knew it was like, oh, you're a black belt.
I went-
$500.
I went through the process, and it's like you're going to have to test with them,
Well, at least there's some sort of process,
which is great. I mean, I think that's great. I think that's a good thing.
But what you're doing is more
Whole
entire
academy.
school oriented.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So when anybody says, "Well, I do this with the IBJJF," no, you don't. And I'm glad that they do that. ATA does it. Taekwondo, American Taekwondo Association does it. But same thing. They're only doing it with the owner. You don't have to. It's not staff. We're doing staff, and we're also doing 8 different things. We're making sure they have insurance. We're making sure they have an AED. We're making sure that they're certified
Oh, so you're
in
doing
CPR, first aid, AED. We make sure they have cameras. We're checking their lineage. We're like, send us your certificate. I want to see a picture with who promoted you. I want to see the promotion day. Get on beltchecker.com.
That's
Get your whole team on beltchecker.com if you're in jiu-jitsu. Get it, which we're heavy in jiu-jitsu. The whole board's jiu-jitsu guys, we just, it happens to be where we're the biggest, but we have like, if you go to our website to find an academy, it lists every discipline. It's, Sambo, it's Taekwondo, it's karate, it's jiu-jitsu. It's all over them. It's not just jiu-jitsu, but we're heavy on the jiu-jitsu side for obvious reasons. We talk about it on the podcast. It's where there's the biggest problems in my mind. So we're making them do 8 different things, including the background check, safe sport, and the concussion training, right? Martial arts, guys are getting hit in the head, right? So there's concussion training, which is an easy, short program, but at least, again, these things, get it on your radar. Anybody saying that they're doing it someplace else, they're not. You're not doing all of these things. And these are the things that make an academy safe, right? That's what we're looking to do. I forgot I put the shirt on, don't I? These are the things that make an academy safe. And again, I've talked about this a million times. We don't have to go into this. I had a heart attack. So there was no AED at my school. I don't know if anybody was certified or could have saved me if I literally had a heart attack on the map. I left, wasn't feeling good. It wasn't like I'm on the floor. Friday night, I have a heart attack, go home. My wife's like, well, what's going on? Really, it feels like you got to poop. Took a shower, pooped, went to sleep, woke up in the morning, went to train again. Same thing happened again.
Do you know
Actually,
how often
Friday night,
I
went.
have to poop.
Yeah. Well, Friday night I went out to
Multiple
eat.
heart attacks.
I went,
It's possible.
every day's a heart attack. I
4 or
went.
5 times a
I had
day.
acai with friends, and I was eating, and I thought I had an upset stomach, and then
That's
I went,
what did it.
Acai killed me.
Acai.
So go home, nothing. Shower, shit shower. Go to bed. Wake up in the morning. Go train again. Same thing happens. And my wife made me. When I came home again, I was like, felt like jiu-jitsu. Like felt like somebody, like you can't breathe. Somebody sitting on you. Like if somebody was like,
Was it like
heavy side guard,
Yeah,
like side control?
yeah.
Like you feel like that, but like really like somebody was mounted and like giving you pressure, or even like if you've ever had like a knee on the sternum, like it felt like that. It's like your diaphragm can't expand. Is what it felt like. It was like, what's going on here? Go to the hospital. You're having a heart attack.
Did they tell you what percentage blockage you had?
80% blocked on my main artery.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You should have died.
I could have if I would have been like.
Not saying you should have. Like that's
If
what
I would
wish
have taken
upon
a
you.
shit every time I had a heart attack, I just took a shit and thought it was just that.
Man.
Then I would have been like, man.
You invite a guy in your
I
show,
go,
that
No,
wishes you
But
dead.
that's a big thing, man. Like especially heart attacks now. If you're not getting, and then people say, "Oh, I just got my blood work, everything came back." Well, you got to test for a certain type of protein, like which a lot of what I found out recently, a lot of doctors don't do. Our department actually get like a lot partners with a clinic, and then if we go, we get like a gift card from the department. So we get our heart checked, we can do the stress test, and then we get a gift card.
Where
The fact that a lot of people don't take advantage of that sometimes. it
what
blows my
people
mind.
don't
I would do
know,
that all
and
the time.
take this, and next time you go to your doctor, next time you go to your annual, if you don't let your doctor know that you have a history in your family tree, and don't just think up the family tree, you got to think off the branches, aunts, uncles, grandparents. You should know that information. My immediate family tree up from like my parents and their parents, nobody ever had heart issues, but aunts and uncles did. And I never mentioned that. And they told me we would have been testing, the blood test would have been different this entire time. We would have checked off these other things because there is a family history with those in those branches, which I didn't know. I'll just be like, no, my father had a little bit of high blood pressure. My blood pressure was never high, so they weren't worried. Grandparents with diabetes, my A1C was never high, so no problems. And the blood tests that they were giving me were never going to show anything related to a blockage. So, which, it's kind of crazy in this country. Like if you have to be like, I'm having a problem right now, or somebody in my family's had this problem, I want to get checked, or they don't check it. Why don't we just check for everything? I'm the perfect example of it went under the rate. Well, it's expensive.
I think
because
it's the
this
C
country's
reactive
fucked up,
protein, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't even know.
Yeah, they don't. I'm sure we'll be corrected in the comments, but I believe it's the C reactive protein. That's what you have. You have to tell your doc, I want you to test for this, or it doesn't get checked.
Now, I've also learned I don't care how anybody feels about like mainstream media, but there's a really good CNN documentary done by Sanjay Gupta. It's about 45 minutes if you watch it on YouTube. It's called The Last Heart Attack. And it actually goes into, it's not, so people think, you're eating too much steak and eggs and this and that. It's the size of, I think it's like the molecules of cholesterol in your blood. The smaller ones, the larger ones go right through. The smaller ones get caught on your artery wall and they build up. So they're finding I had a buddy that I trained with that was a vegan, and he's still, as a vegan, he goes, I always have high cholesterol. Okay. That's weird, right? So it's the size of they found it's the size of the cholesterol in your blood, not whether you're coming up in these tests as having high cholesterol. It's, again, I believe it's the smaller molecules are the ones that get caught along the walls and build up into that plaque over time versus, it's just everyone's different. And the size of how your body's breaking down the cholesterol is different. I hope I'm saying this right.
I had to describe
last heart attack,
yeah.
the last heart attack, watch it again, CNN, Sanjay Gupta. It'll tell you everything, including the fact that they show that changing your eating habits can actually reverse those blockages, which they'll never tell you. So people that were like, they had people on there that changed their diet, went to vegan diets, which I'm not a big fan of anyway, but who actually started that plaque build up. They were able to see it through and not have to have their bypass, actually take it away. Again, it's in the documentaries, whatever people think about mainstream media, I know there's so many arguments about it, but that made me feel a little bit better because it told me, it basically really told me what I should be eating. And I did kind of go vegan and vegetarian for a little bit and then pescatarian. And then I was just I would die. Then I just went back to eating like normal. I figure I'm on enough, Lipitor and all the bullshit that I'm on. I'm like, I think it should be helping me. So I can eat. I eat healthy. I eat the healthiest versions. I eat grass-fed milk, grass-fed bison. I'm trying to eat the healthiest version of the thing that people say is bad. So I'm trying to eat the healthiest version of that. Lots of stuff from Whole Foods. But yeah,
How's
if you
your
don't tell them, I'm good. So the big thing is we caught it early enough where I didn't lose any heart muscle, which is the big thing. It's just how long has this been a problem? And has your heart lost muscle? I don't want to say the word die, but I think you can have heart muscle that's no longer working.
It dies.
Right. Yeah, it dies, right?
Blood's not going to it.
So I didn't lose any heart muscle. and I've been in the like
Heart
you're
tissue.
great.
I think it's heart tissue.
Do you have any idea how paranoid I get every time you talk about that?
Yeah, you should. You actually should. My sister went and was just like, now I should say, been very open about stuff. You know, I took steroids in my 30s. And when they brought me to the hospital that day to get the stents put in, they're putting it on a table. It's the whole, I think it's called Da Vinci. Like it's a whole system where it's like electronic. They're going to put the catheter in and go into the heart. And like, it's all like
I hope
robotic.
you're asleep for this.
That's wild.
No, you're half out. They don't put you out because they don't want your heart rate to go down too far. So they're going in, right? And or when when the doctor comes in the room, the woman that's going to do the procedure, when she comes in the room, she didn't ask me my name. She didn't ask me anything. She looked down at me. I'm on the table. She's standing there and she goes, steroids? And I go, some in my 30s. And she goes, that was our conversation. She didn't ask me anything else about my medical history. She didn't even ask me my name. And they were just like, all right, they come in, they shave your leg.
So much. I want to talk about that so
when
bad.
she opened you up, or like
no,
before?
they go in through a vein on your head, on your leg,
and go all the way up.
And it snakes in your artery. It snakes in. You can see it.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm coming in and out, and there's 2 screens above your head, and you can see the little thing going around your heart. Like you can literally see it.
Feel it? Like
No.
in your
No, I didn't feel it at all. You just feel the pain from where they went in, but no.
Cool.
I'd pass out.
It's
You're
so
in my
cool.
you're in my heart right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like you're in and out. I mean, I believe I know what I saw. I don't know how much of that was like
I'm gonna
potentially
give you
like
the
dream state, but I know that I could see it. I've never Googled it or looked it
I
up.
don't
But
want to ruin this for your doctor, but it's actually Miss Frizzle in the Magic School Bus doing every single major heart surgery across America.
I don't get the reference.
The Magic
You ever watch
School Bus?
Magic School Bus when they would shrink down and
Yeah, it was like the children's cartoon.
I don't know.
I'm glad you got it. Thank you, Ish.
dude.
No, I kind of like,
Dude,
yeah,
this guy's old, bro.
I don't remember it. I don't know. I don't know if it was big when I
Pre-Magic
was.
School Bus.
Yeah, no, you can't, then he would have grown up.
I mean, I remember like the Muppets and Sesame Street and
Magic
shit like
School
that.
Bus came out for
Reading
him
Rainbow.
when like SpongeBob came out for me. You know, he was already 14 or something.
No,
That's
maybe.
fair. He's
Okay,
not
there
watching
you go.
Magic School Bus.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. My daughter. I
Anyway,
didn't have my
they would
daughter watching
shrink
it.
and go on missions.
Oh yeah,
They would be inside. the blood
no
cells.
knowledge of this whatsoever.
Oh, jeez, way to ruin my bit.
So I got it.
So going back to Academy Safe, right? So that happened to me. So we're trying to literally make the Academy safer, and that means all kinds of safety. People have even like tried to get us into like, hey, what about the cleanliness and the mat cleaning and things like that? And I'm like, you have to remember we're not able to walk into every gym. So to like, what are we gonna like have?
how
we
do
do
you
want
manage
ambassadors
that?
at some point. We do like what we have. I have notes on how to like what we're gonna do to start an ambassador system, which is
Undercover.
basically people can go in or, hey, you're for your city where we have like larger groups of gyms that have signed up. Maybe we have somebody that does go in and does like a little checklist. So we'll get there, but. It's right now, those 8 things are the things that we believe make an academy safe and show that the owners are being responsible.
In the next 5 years,
insurance and stuff like that.
You're
is
gonna have
important.
undercover Academy Safe agents at your gym.
I
Black belts
believe,
pretending to be white belts,
Yeah.
just beating up your brown.
that there's there's no government oversight.
Which blows my mind. The more you talk about this, the more I'm like in schools, we trust teachers to care for our children, raise our children, educate our children, and obviously have our children safe. There's a lot of things in place. Where else do we send our children? Sports,
Aftercare.
gyms, schools, academies. But then it's like, oh, we don't need any of that.
You cannot use your aftercare program. I mean, your aftercare program is literally supposed to be like a babysitting service, right? So make sure whatever you're using, whether it is like a place where they go and do their homework and maybe get tutors and things like that, or it's sports related. When it's at a school, you could pretty much bank on that people are background checked. But I know I have a story about how I know something that happened to some kids where it was an outside service that came in and somebody did something bad. But when it comes to, or at least the schools, did we talk about, I know we've talked about this, but once they leave the school and you put them on a bus or a van that goes to the aftercare program has sent a van to pick them up, which is like how it works down here in Florida. Once they're in that van, School
So-
has nothing to do with it. They're not
School has-
responsible for anything, and they don't do background checks on that. They may
they
have to do a background check on, again, the owner, but they're not doing a background check on the
Yes.
staff, which is where the problem is. There are school owners that are bad. I'm saying the problem is we're not checking everybody.
I've only tried, like, I'm working on getting in the school system now in my county. And thus far, I'm the only person on the list. So I'm the only person getting checked. But I believe if you're going to set foot on property, you're the driver, you're the pickup.
They have to be.
Or you're doing, like, if I'm going to send Kurt and Corey to do an after school program, then they have to be. But not necessarily, like, if I just do a pickup, like I send a driver, he gets 10 kids and then goes back to the gym. I think just that driver has to be checked because he's the one showing up to the school.
Yeah. At the end of the day, this is a huge problem. This story about Atos HQ and the complaint that we got yesterday is like proof positive that we're doing the right thing. I know we're doing the right thing. I do believe that, there's no government oversight. There are some like counties or states that require what you just said, right? Like there are laws in regards, but there's nobody that's mandating it for once they go in the gym is that entire staff background check. I don't believe there are a few, every once in a while I get a message saying, hey, yeah, if you're working with kids, you have to be background checked. All right, let's take kids out of the situation for a second. What happened in my school was the coach was hitting on the wives and girlfriends, ex-wives, ex-girlfriends of his students, adults.
Right.
It's all adults.
But
morally wrong, not criminal.
Right.
So like, okay, what do we do? There could be situations where there's still a creeper in a school that doesn't have a kids program, because that happens in martial arts a lot of times, right? You have a regular job and then you open a school. You're not opening it for a kids program. You're opening it for just adults, right? So, but don't we want to keep those adults safe as well, right? So there's no excuse to not do this. I'm sorry, I was cutting you off. Go ahead. What were you going to say? Yeah,
I was saying like the same thing you did, like morally reprehensible, but not illegal.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't even come up on a background check as is.
But again, once you start doing the whole school, I think the safe sport is the thing that really stands out to me. Yeah, the background check is important. Don't get me wrong. That's number one. But the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, you have a whole bunch of people in an academy that all do the safe sport. You're all taking a course about grooming. You're all taking a course about bullying. You're all taking the same course and start to go,
Hold on.
is he grooming that? Right? And that's healthy. Maybe he's not. But the fact that you've got somebody like kind of looking at, like you're an owner and you have coaches that are watching each other and those coaches know they're being watched. I think it kind of like, again, sunlight, right? Sunlight's the best disinfectant. You start thinking differently. If you're a bad person or bad actor, I think you're like, is anybody watching me?
And you
I better
notice
not do
stuff
that
in
here.
retrospect. Like I've been around the world 6 times teaching, and I've been to 100 different gyms. And sometimes there's something you see, and you're like, interesting. And then you go through the course, and you're like, oh,
That makes sense. It's on my radar.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, I think that's good. I think it's good what you're doing. I think you should keep pushing it. Do you have like a place where people can like go on your website and report something?
So they can go to our website. They can send an email. We have a resources page. I'm normally pointing people there. So like with the complaint that we got directly through an email, we've gotten them before. And number one, I say, we're not a reporting agency. So please, if somebody's in danger, call 911. Report this immediately. That's number one. Number two is report them to U.S. Center for Safe Sport, which you can find the link on our resources page. The one thing with U.S. Center for Safe Sport, they'll take a complaint in any sport, but their mandate, they're government funded. That was started because of what happened with the girls' gymnastics team. U.S. Center for Safe Sport was born from that. So technically, their mandate is to oversee Olympic sports that lead to the Olympics, both para and regular Olympics. So I don't know that they would say, well, that is name and odds, like cornhole league or darts, or just think jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is not an Olympic sport. How deep would they go in an investigation? I don't have an answer to that right now. But karate, taekwondo, judo, wrestling, those are all sports. I think they're adding MMA, so maybe that would change. I think they're trying to do something with MMA. Boxing, these are all Olympic sports. You can absolutely report it for those gyms, and they're supposed to investigate. We added a sexual assault registry or a registry of sex offenders. So we added links for US, Canada, and Interpol has a place where you can search if you want to put somebody's name in, search for people. So we're like actively making the site better to have those resources. With this person that reported to us, we said, hey, look, we want you to, again, call 911. You can report here. Go to our resources page. You can report to these places. And I let her know that we forward this over to Robert McDojo, where, he's going to do some investigative reporting. But we're like, unless they're a member, there's nothing we can look into. We're not, again, an investigative agency. We're not we're not a government agency. We're not law enforcement. You need to go to the right places. And the first thing that you should do if you feel like somebody's in danger is 911, period. That's what you got to do.
I don't know any place that does like rumors, like, hey, this happened, but nothing's been processed or charged. Because I've talked to Rob about, like, how does someone go about, saying something? Rob's like, it has to be legally documented. I need to see an arrest report that they've been, like, he can't focus on rumors.
Yeah.
No, because then you're going to have to go there yourself and do stuff, which is, I mean, with all the gyms in the
Is there
US,
like a Reddit for like the rumors?
So it's a Reddit.
That's where it started. That's where that started, and where Rob said, hey, this has been on Reddit before, and it's been the same poster, but now it's like gone further. There have been some high-level competitors that have left there. And again, it's not just him. They're accusing, coaches. So it's not just him this time. So
like it's a community thing in the hierarchy of staff.
Yeah. I mean, we're getting to the point where I believe like you can start using the word, this is an epidemic, at least inside of jiu-jitsu. I call it, that it's a very intimate sport. We're rolling around with each other. We're rolling on top of each other. Women have their legs wrapped around us. It's intimate. Yeah. It's not like karate where you're just sparring and it's like, you're not hugging, you're not falling to the floor, right? So there's I was explaining to somebody yesterday, there's a perceived intimacy when you're rolling around with somebody on the floor and then you're off the mat. It's just like, well, we were just doing that. Is it okay for me to act this way?
You have a lot of
do this thing?
oxytocin bonding from all the contact.
All right. We've done what I didn't want to do, which is we made the whole episode about this. I think I felt it needed to be spoken about. And, again, you're a law enforcement officer. I don't know how often you have like, do you get calls for like this kind of stuff? Like you have to show up at somebody's house, a kid's been assaulted, there's a report, somebody's reporting. Is that more of like Child Protective Services and things like that?
So we actually work with Child Protective Services. So we'll actually come out, start an investigation, and then in PA, there's like mandated reporting, which I'm sure is everywhere. So this other agency also gets it, who then it's like, I don't want to say overkill, but we get notified. We have to report it. Schools are mandated. So if it's a child at a school, they report it. Then the parent reports it. So then we get 3 or 4 different reports. And now we have to figure out, is it one incident? Is it multiple incidents? Is it multiple actors? Is it multiple victims? Because a lot of times they'll say this happened to some child at this school, but they won't tell us who because they're trying to protect the child. However, we're a law enforcement agency. We can't protect this child unless we know who the child it is. So, we do deal with a lot of that stuff, unfortunately, more than I like to admit. And we go out, see what we call CYF. They come out, and then we do kind of like a joint investigation. And then if we can't determine anything criminal, they actually have like forensic investigators who can speak to children in a certain way, make them feel safe. Okay. And then are able to tailor the conversation so that a child feels comfortable in coming forward and telling them things. And then they give us their findings, and then we go off that. So we work together jointly a lot of the time.
You said before, you have been training as much. You had a lot going on. You have been training. When you're training, are you mostly doing gi or no gi?
No gi. When I start,
I know all the pictures you sent me. I think we're all. So are you in the gi at all?
I wanted the blue belt so bad, so I was in the gi 3-4 times a week. Then I got my blue belt, and I was like, man, it's more fun without it because I'm a bigger boy, right? So I get hot, I get sweaty. Man. I love the gi because
this guy is not doing real jiu-jitsu. He is doing American jiu-jitsu. It's not the same.
I won't pick one or the other because with the gi, I'm training grips. I'm training stuff that I can utilize in law enforcement. Without the gi, I can be lazy. So that's the way I'll put it.
That's the first time I've ever heard that take.
I believe that anybody that says like, oh, the gi, it's not realistic. it's the opposite.
We're
it's
wearing
not
hoodies,
realistic
we're wearing
when I
sweatshirts,
can't.
we're wearing
Yeah.
pants.
I
Like
have
it's not
strangled dudes
realistic
with
in
a
no gi.
t-shirt for sure.
I've been
Yeah.
strangled with the t-shirt.
Like especially Europe, and I mean, like everybody's in a jacket and probably
Coats.
like winter coats and sweaters and
Dude,
things
a lot
like
of
that.
the
that
stuff
you
we
can
brought
grab
to our
on.
department, I've taken from jiu-jitsu. Like when you're going to handcuff someone who has a hoodie, like I teach them, like the first thing you want to do is control. And this is one thing you see in law enforcement all the time: control before handcuffing. We see a lot of videos of officers.
Position before submission.
Yeah.
When hey, you're under arrest, what's the first thing they do? Pull out their handcuffs.
Yeah.
You still have to touch this person.
Yeah. Now you've lost
Now
one hand.
you lost one hand.
You're assuming they're going to go,
just see this,
okay.
Which even then, and people, the kickback we get in a lot of law enforcement is, when would I ever use this? Well, you've had the benefit that when you say you're under arrest, people turn around. But guess what you're doing? You're still going hands on.
Yeah.
And there was this documentary that came out. I forget what the name was, but they interviewed convicts who have assaulted and killed police officers, and they said, how did you choose your target, or what was your reason? And a lot of it basically stemmed to this: I thought like I can take him. He or she did not look prepared. They didn't, their uniform wasn't put together, or when they grabbed me, it wasn't authoritative. So I thought I had a chance. So it's that officer presence we take for granted because we think because we're in this super fancy uniform, shiny badge, and have this piece of metal on our hip that people are just going to listen. We're at an age where that's not a thing anymore. Like you have to come in and I hate to say this, but command presence. But that doesn't mean coming in douchey. You got to be respectful. You got to connect with people. And the more you train, the more you realize, like, it doesn't matter how good I am. I get submitted by the 18-year-old who plays video games for a living and then comes to jiu-jitsu twice a day, every day for the last 3 years. He looks like 115 pounds.
Yeah.
Right. So like now we have this mutual respect for people because we know when you get on the mat, you don't have to be the biggest. I love when people look at me and they're like, "Oh man, you look scary." I look at the 18-year-old kid who's at the gym every day. I'm like, that dude's scary. That dude will rip my limbs. So like, there's this perception you get.
I tell people, like, you have to, when I'm looking at you right now, I don't see myself in comparison to how big you are. Until I see myself in the mirror with you or in a picture, then I go, oh, I didn't realize I was bigger or smaller than that person.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm not taking in me and you in my eyeballs right now, right? I'm seeing just you. So I'm like, yeah, it's a big dude.
Yeah.
He's a big dude.
I feel the same.
And then I'm standing next to one of you. I'm like, oh, okay. Now I see I tell a story about, I had one of my roommates when I was in my 30s down here in Fort Lauderdale. I used to make fun of his head, how big his head was.
Sure, I get that too.
I was like, dude, but it was like, he like loved to joke and pick on people. So I would just I knew like if I got something, like it would just drive him nuts. And he had like a big head with like a small body. He didn't work out. He was just kind of a little heavy in the middle, but he had like his shoulders, what do you call it? Someone not broad, narrow shoulders. So I made fun of his head all of the time. And he never made any jokes back to me about the size of my, but I would and he would just get so mad. He was a bartender. So one time I was at his bar and he's making me a drink and there's the whole wall behind him's a mirror. So he's turning around and he's making like he's getting the lick or whatever. And we're side by side in the mirror. And he turns around and I go, holy shit. He's like, what? I'm like, dude, my head is bigger than yours. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I will never tell you have a big head again. I guess it was more that the proportion of his head to his body.
The mirror was curved.
Yeah.
The mirror was
so
curved.
no. I'm just saying in general, like his head looked so much bigger because he had like narrow shoulders, but I never made fun of his head again. But that's, I tell that story because it's the
perception.
I'm looking at him and I only see him. So like, yeah, I might like in the gym be up against, like, I'm not going, okay, well, I'm bigger than this guy. I'm smaller than this guy. Obviously, like if they're shorter and I'm looking down to them, that's different. But I try to tell people that like, might say, yeah, I'm scared. I'm 230 pounds. Somebody be like, hey, how much do you weigh right before rolling? I'm like 230. I'm like, oh my God, I'm 175. And I'm like,
or your favorite compliment, you're so strong.
Yeah. Oh, I fucking hate that one.
You're so strong.
I am.
I don't.
Okay. Right.
So like when somebody like, I don't see that. So I don't notice that. I'm only seeing you. I don't see me in proportion, like the proportionality or whatever. How would you say that? Like our proportions. I don't see our proportions. Like I'm not looking at us going, okay, I'm bigger or smaller than this guy. So it's weird when people, I don't think people think about that. I mean, I'm not like, yeah, you might like we all know the scariest guy in the room is the freaking 5'11" skinny kid, right? Like he's the scare. Like oh
goes after
shit, look at those legs. Like oh man, I gotta watch out for triangles now, right? Like
You're built like a vascular
that's what
spider monkey.
we know that we have to think about that versus like I'm like the big heavy buff guy. I'm like
just gonna cuddle you.
Oh, he's
Gas
gonna
him.
gas out.
Gas him.
He's gassing out quick.
Oh,
I'm like
people know that already.
I'll just be like just work to get on top. And then smother him from a little bit from the side, and he's going to run out of breath because he's going to be like his diaphragm's not going to be able to expand. Like if I can hold him down, little neon belly, no big guy with a little bit of a belly likes neon belly.
Hate it or stack me.
No,
Dude,
you
stack
don't
me.
want. You don't want to take neon belly on a big
walking
boy.
out with my shoulders.
You neon belly a big boy. You're threatening a gas cloud. You're threatening
That
a
is true.
blowout, my
Yeah,
friend.
yeah.
Don't gamble with your cleanliness.
I eat tacos before rolling. Put me on
Don't
belly.
eat before, bro. People come in all the time. Oh, sorry, man. I just you ate. You knew what you were coming in to do. You got to have 90 minutes for like a small meal.
I try not to eat 4 hours before I train.
I love the purple belt who
I
comes
eat lunch
in.
no later than 2. If like I'm going to the gym at like 6 or 7, I'm like,
Really?
yeah,
I do 2.5 hours.
watch out.
I love the purple belt. The purple belt. It's always the purple belts with the coffee or the energy drink and then chips, and then they go roll. And I'm like, I would
Can't
die.
do that.
Oh,
I would throw up.
Yeah,
I'd
that's
be
what
far.
purples do.
Like I also know what not to eat on the days that I'm training. I'll never eat like spicy stuff. No Chipotle,
Chili.
no Mexican, no pizza like
Saucy.
stuff with like acid. Very plain, bland breads, maybe some egg. Like I know, and I know not to eat because I'll be tooting all over the place.
It's like that. I get bad heartburn.
yeah,
you're on
I
your
get-
back, and you're like,
Yeah.
you're like trying to manage your heartburn. Some dude's got his knee on your stomach, and
I
they're
just don't want to have to poop. That's it. I just
Never
want to
had
be
that
empty.
issue.
Do you have like acid reflux issues?
like, oh yeah.
I've had it all my life. God, I'm trying to think of the. So I had a buddy sends me an article. I've always taken like prescription pills, shit like over the counter. I took it for years.
Did you do
What is
scoop of
a?
baking soda?
I'm trying to think of like what is one of the red peppers? There's like the powder is
Chili
red.
pepper? Oh,
No. Cayenne pepper. I put cayenne pepper on everything, and for the most part, unless I have like pizza or something extra meant to be extra spicy, I had to take it every day, 2 or 3 times a day. I have Tums in my bag, in my car, at my desk. I used to have it everywhere. Cayenne pepper. I put cayenne pepper on like my eggs in the morning. You would think it's the opposite.
Well, what it
Cayenne
does is
pepper.
it triggers your body to. I've actually read
Yeah.
about that. I should probably look into that.
Cayenne pepper. I have a lot of eggs in the morning. Cayenne pepper. I make any type of meat. Cayenne pepper. Any
So
opportunity
you're
I get
saying
to
the
put it on
cayenne
it.
pepper stops the acid?
I don't get as much acid reflux. I only get acid reflux if I really truly eat something.
hammer it out.
Eat something spicy, and I still get it with like pizza because of the tomato sauces.
So
and
the
stuff.
acid reflux would come from having not enough acid in your stomach or having too much acid. By inducing that, what you're doing is trying to balance out the acid in your stomach.
There's like people use like what is it like apple cider
Apple
vinegar
cider
and stuff like
vinegar.
that. I never did. I'm just like it tastes pretty horrible. But the cayenne pepper I did. I even recommended it to my dad. He said it didn't work. My mom cooks for him, so she said it didn't work for him. But I don't think she probably did it. Like do it for a while on everything. I did it this morning. Made 3 eggs.
have to try that.
Put it on. I'll be fine. But again, if I've gone crazy with like eating pizza or just I don't
Sometimes
know,
it
eating
just
something
hurts.
shitty. But that's my that's my
It's like jiu-jitsu. Sometimes it just hurts.
Your son hurts, bro.
Sometimes I just I deal with it, but I definitely don't like I literally if I leave the house it's just like money, wallet, keys, phone, Tums. Like that's how it used to be. Like make sure I have some Tums in my bag, make sure it's full in the car, buying them at like the Costco's and like the BJ's of the world, like the 3-pack, and then like putting next to the bed, in the bathroom, in the kitchen, like everywhere. Because it was I used to have it really bad.
It's gonna be the next
I've been telling
sponsor for the
Dude,
podcast.
fun
Tums.
fact.
You know, right?
There was a point in time in my career where like I was watching my weight and I would eat Tums as like my treat
yeah.
because it just didn't spike my sugars too much.
You used to do other Tums. Oh,
Because it was like, you remember those like Smarties, those kind of, it was
The
close
flavored
enough
Tums.
it was close enough to candy that I'd be like, all right, I ate a candy.
all right, so let's go over to one of our questions. I'm going to use Officer Danny because since I know we're all buds. He said, let's see, what's the main pushback that you get, if anything? We got to say if anything that you get at your agency regarding jiu-jitsu and combative training or jiu-jitsu / combatives training for officers. Have you had Any pushback from the top?
From the top, no. Actually, our administration's big. Our old chief who just retired used to roll with us, so he was big into that. He actually launched our defensive tactics program, and our new chief doesn't roll with us, but he's at the gym, and he's like, "Hey, get guys in there. Let's get it going." So we have a lot of support from the top.
Cool.
Yeah.
The problem is getting people in there, and you hear all the excuses. We used to do it at a local gym that was 45 minutes from the department, but an hour and 15 from me. It was the first place that's like, "Hey, we'll open this up to cops. We have cops who train here. They can teach. You guys can teach." And it was, well, that's too far. So then our chief was like, "Oh, we could do it in a department." Bought mats. So we're like, okay, we bought blue guns. We got all the stuff to train. We'll even give you comp time. You get paid. Only instructors show up.
Yeah.
So the
Really?
pushback, yeah.
And they're paying? Dog,
So
I'd have been there paying you to do
Well,
jujitsu.
same.
Come on.
And like, so then we were like, maybe it looks too aggressive, looks too scary. Because cops, I don't know if you know this, a lot of cops have egos.
No.
So yeah, I know. I'm opening Pandora's box.
I want to
But
believe it.
so when you see something and it appears, I don't want to say scary, but like there's I've been talking about this
Difficult?
gap. I've been talking about this gap, right? Like you see guys rolling, because I remember that was a big hinder for me in jiu-jitsu. I'm like, man, these guys are going after it. And I'm supposed to like go in there. That's going to happen to me. So there's this gap. And then I've heard this from people. Why do I need that? I'll just use my gun.
That's
I'm
the
like-
point.
I'm like, hold on, dude.
We don't want you using
You
the
are
gun as
missing
much.
the point.
I was like, and when I heard that, I invited this dude to our department. I'm like, come to our department, come to one of our combatives days, and I want you to try that. We have training guns. I was like, do it. Watch how that gun becomes mine.
Yeah.
Because there's this gap, right? And it's two layered. The gap of officer presence and lethal force. If you're pulling your gun out, you're justifying the use of lethal force. What justifies that? An officer being scared for their life, essentially, to make it simple for people listening. So if you train nothing and you're 100 pounds and someone like me comes, knocks you to the ground and gets on top of you, and you can articulate enough that you were in fear for your life, I started throwing punches or something, you can now take my life because you can articulate that you were in fear for your life. Now, what does that do? You just killed someone. You're not sleeping. Your family's ruined. Their family's ruined. Like there's something you're not going to be able to sleep with at night. However, if you go 1 day a week, every week, even if you're 6 months in as a white belt, you are now 99% more equipped to deal with people, how to control someone.
And it's
That
not even a
same-
day. It's like an hour.
An hour. It's not even a day. You're right. It's an hour. You can now, that same situation with the same people, that person now is comfortable on the ground, right? Like me as a big dude, I hated being on my back. Learning jiu-jitsu, I'm on my back. I'm like, oh, I'm fine. I know a couple things I can do. You're throwing punches. I'm shielding. I'm hipping out so I can change my position. I'm somewhat comfortable because I've trained. So now my level of force is lower for the same situation.
The confidence that you bring into that situation, I think, is huge.
It's the psyche, right?
Yes.
You're in this
Like
position.
I walk into a place and I'm like,
I'll strangle everybody.
Yeah.
I'll be all right. Yeah, I'll be all right.
yeah, I'm going to be okay here.
But it's not a cocky thing. It's like you
confidence.
walk into these engagements now. Like, okay, like if it goes hands on, I'm gonna try to go for the underhook, isolate the arm, put them. We do a split seatbelt, kind of like we call it the home position, and from there you can start thinking, right? Like you have a place you can go, whether they strike, whether they approach you, whether they just come up with their chest, whether they start to go to pull something. If you're close enough, you can close that distance because you know a set of tools. But if you have none of that, you coming in there yelling and screaming because that's a response of fear. As much as people don't want to admit it, that's a response of fear. Like, let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. And then you start yelling, and now that just raises the tension.
It's
for
the
both
classic,
parties.
like the loudest guy in the room is usually probably the guy that doesn't know how to fight. You're loud. You think you're going to be, you think you're the guy versus the guy that knows how to take care of himself. It's just like the quiet guy in the corner. Again, the skinny kid in the corner is usually the most dangerous guy because not that he's cocky and thinks he's dangerous. He's confident. He's like, I don't need to be over there in your face
Like you're
because I know if
screaming,
I have to defend myself, there's going to be a problem. And then when you know how to fight, you don't want to fight. When you know how to fight, you don't want to hurt somebody because you feel like you're going to get in trouble. But when you're on the job, you can walk into a situation and be like, let me know if this has ever happened to you. Like, I know that we had Shane told me the story of the very first time that we had him on the podcast, a cop down here in Miami Gardens. He's like, I show up, and not only does he have a degree in psychology, but he's a jiu-jitsu black belt. Now he's also at ATT, and now he's a brown belt training at 10th Planet. He goes, when I walk into a situation, because I have both the black belt and my degree in psychology, is like when I show up on a job, when I show up at a call, I should say, a lot of times the cops are like, go ahead,
Yeah.
get in there.
Yeah, we
Get in
get
there
that.
because you're going to talk this guy down. And if you can't, we know that you're going to be able to get to put hands on, and we don't have to because we don't know what we're doing. I'm sure that that's changed because I've interviewed him a couple of years ago when even 2-3 years ago, it was not the same. Jiu-jitsu was not as accepted in law enforcement. It was like we were starting and we were talking about it, and some departments were very much wasn't accepted like it is now. But he did say, I mean, has that ever happened to you where they're like,
oh, for sure.
Ish?
Well, it's not that. They give you the look of like, hey, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Right?
They're going to follow your lead.
Yeah. So we have this, he's a kid, but 300 pounds, bigger kid, and, behavior issues,
How's his
autistic. They go forever. Right. So this is not someone you can, he's not listening to you. You're going to pull out a gun. So what?
Yeah.
He's not going to, that's not going to register to him because he's upset. He's in whatever's going on. He's going through something. We had a less lethal shotgun that he thought was a shotgun. He's like, shoot me.
Was it like it shoots like the beanbags?
Yeah, the beanbag shotgun.
Have you been hit with one of those?
I have not, but they hurt. Just
Yeah,
take my
sure.
word for
He's
it.
a nice freaking round.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch Jackass, you'd see what it could do to you. So now he's telling me, shoot me. Is that justified? If you should, no. So you saying, I'll just pull out my gun? No, you have to go hands on with this kid in a way that you don't hurt yourself and you don't hurt him because he's not causing harm. He's refusing your commands. What do? Have a standoff there for 4 hours trying to talk him down? At some point, you're going to have to go hands on. So they give me the look and they're talking to him and I circle behind him. And so our department, so PA just mandated control tactics, 4 hours a year. Do you know what the curriculum is for that? Handcuffing. So we're like, oh, finally, we got a mandated defensive tactics.
Still not.
And then it's like handcuffing and then show one other technique.
Yeah, focus on step 9, 10.
That's
Ignore
being-
step
I'm
1
like,
through 8.
before we even get the handcuffing, we have to still control the person. So our department, we do quarterly defensive tactics training that's mandated in our department. So we all kind of have, and we teach them the basics coming in, that split seatbelt, home position. We use a lot of Craig Douglas ShivWorks curriculum. He's black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's a Baltimore cop. Dude knows his stuff. So ShivWorks. Dude, look him up. So he does a lot of knife stuff.
Yeah. Is that where the name comes from? I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
but yeah, he makes his own knives, and dude, the knives are pretty dope.
Yeah.
So we use a lot of his curriculum, and he teaches the shield, the helmet shield for like if someone comes attack you, they walk to you or whatever. You go to one position. It's not, pray here or come here. It's one position going into the split seatbelt. From there, 1,000 options. You want to take the back. You want to, you want to arm drag, whatever you want to do, underhook. So we teach this. So everyone has a basic understanding of like an initial response.
Sure.
The split, right? One cop goes up, one cop goes down. Like split the body.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone has that basic understanding. So they're looking at me and I'm like, all right, we all just did the training. So I'm hoping you guys follow my lead, because if not, it's me against this dude. And then who knows how that can go. So I go up to his back and I give everyone the look and I'm like, all right, I'm about to go in. Basically telling them, I'm going to go for the top. Y'all go for the bottom. And I go in and then it just turns into like, I do a little leg sweep, get him on the ground. He starts to build a house. We also taught this. You go under, take the wrist, break down the house so you can't build it. It just becomes a dog pile. And it's not
because the other officers aren't trained.
They've
know.
trained, but there's
too
been the
many
one
chefs
class.
spoil the pot kind of thing?
Yes. So, yeah, to answer your question, usually we have a good group of guys now who train and girls who train. So like our department is, people actually reach out to us like, hey, can we get your curriculum? And I always tell them, you can't just take our curriculum and you have to like have done this and apply it and be able to understand
teach it.
why you're doing what you're doing.
First, you have to learn how to teach it. If you're going to be the instructor, you have to learn how to teach it. And the best way to do that is be on the mat, whether it's at the department or in a jiu-jitsu academy, because at least you have the basics.
Dude, jiu-jitsu is this. I tell people, you can do your trades. Like we have a professional boxer in our department. Dude's got He's an insane boxer. But I'm like, jiu-jitsu is going to teach you control. It's going to teach you, you're going to be put in bad positions and you're going to have to figure it out. Right. And it's like one of the most beautiful sports because you can go 100% and mitigate a lot of injury. I know there's a lot of injuries in jiu-jitsu, but like it's one of the true sports where you can go full throttle and be safe and be put in the most uncomfortable positions. And guess what? If it's so uncomfortable you can't deal with it, you have an option to what?
Give up.
Tap. Reset. All right, let's do it again. Right?
So are you guys in a place where, so like, we had guys from the Gwinnett County PD in Georgia. We had them on and they were talking about, I asked them, have your use of force cases gone down? And it's like, yes, of course.
Have injuries gone down? Do
you have enough people training jiu-jitsu? Do you have enough people learning these tactics that's a measurable number that has gone down?
I would say yes. Our department's definitely built that up, and a lot of our instructors, they split them up on squads. So showing up, there's at least one defensive tactics instructor, and the rest have gone through our mandated stuff.
Are you saying when you're on a call?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So our instructors are split up on different squads.
There are enough people doing this training now that you can feel pretty confident that it's not a dog pile.
Yes. And our goal is to, with that instructor there, like our department's the type of department when you have free time, they're like, hey, go downstairs, take one guy or take two and go down there and teach them something, learn. Like, so we take our gun off, we have our radios on, we take our knives off, anything that can cause injury, and we're training in our stuff. Right? Because it's one thing to be on a mat with a nice rash guard and you can slip through, but that's not the same when you have handcuffs, pouches, admin, all this stuff. And now you have to come up and over, or if someone grabs your vest, you don't have that with a rash guard.
You have a whole bunch of handles for somebody to grab onto versus the no-gi, right?
Yeah.
I wonder how you could sweep with a vest. Because you don't get a lot of slack. But you get a
what do you
great
mean, to
handle.
grab it?
Can you manipulate a vest similar to?
Well, I think the layperson isn't going to be even thinking about that looking at you, right? I mean,
certainly.
But most of the time, you're not going to be up against somebody. But
have you used any non-LEO jujitsu on a call, like an omoplata? Or you're something that you wouldn't classically
outside of LEO, bro? Look at my body.
Whoa! We don't body shame around here.
Well,
because I'm a thick boy. You're a thick boy. I can do an omoplata.
My things, which is now becoming a thing, is Kimuras and Americanas for same side control.
Way to stereotype thick boy action.
Hey, it's the truth.
I'm gonna let you finish that thought, but I'm gonna say when I'm if I'm teaching a move in jiu-jitsu in the class, or if I'm rolling with somebody and they ask me a question, I'm like, I'm gonna avoid any move that has me taking my weight off of you. I'm not gonna roll. I'm not gonna Granby. There's so much that I'm not going to do, not because I can't, because why am I going to take away my biggest strength, which is my size, and I feel like my actual strength.
For fun.
Well, you don't want to be
having fun out there on the street.
Yeah, not on the street.
On the street. No. It's
but
half guard, it's smash pass.
I do arm bars with the best of them. I'm very rarely do an arm bar because I'm pretty much taking my weight. If you slip out and now you take the top position, I know how to do it.
And I've seen videos of cops implementing an arm bar, and it's worked.
Yeah.
But one thing
how do you get to a cuffing situation?
So you need to figure out the transition. That's the problem. I'm not going to take my weight off of you. I know, again, when I'm training, I do arm bars. I've showed moves where I do arm bars, and I'm like, and I actually, it's funny because I was showing an arm bar the other day, and I'm like, but before, the guy's on the floor, I've got him, I've got the arm in kind of like a Kimura lock, right? Before I'm going to drop for the arm bar, right, I'm going to sit on top of you, I'm going to throw my other leg over, and I'm sitting on you. You're on your side, and I can arm crush you right there. I'm going to arm crush you. I'm going to try to put pressure on that arm before I drop back. I'm going to see if I can get you to tap here before I throw myself back for the arm bar. So I teach it there, elbows right up against my chest, really tight, and I can put enough pressure on it. That's just the way that I feel again, it's not just big, it's older. I got a bad back. I'm when I go back for an arm, I have to, I don't just slowly go back for an arm bar. I have to drop back.
Excuses of a size bully.
No, it's the reality of my life on the mat.
We almost got kicked out of our last venue because we were problem solving jiu-jitsu.
Oh God, we were. There was one kid that was try it on me, do it on me. We're choking him, and the guards were like, hey guys, we know that you're coming from this event. We're we're not actually doing the jiu-jitsu, but we had been drinking, and we're choke. Did we try to choke you out? Did we?
Yeah. Everyone.
We're doing like rear naked chokes on people and like arm drags. And they were like, hey guys. And they like hung out with us for a little bit too. They wound up just hanging out there like, listen, we're not doing anything stupid. We're not going to get into fights. We're just showing, it's like, the dentist convention, right? They're probably looking at each other's teeth.
You're
We're
talking
doing
and the
jiu-jitsu.
kid goes to sleep. You're like, oh shit, Dan.
Yeah, he'll be up in a couple seconds.
Bro, just be a minute. Fine.
But yeah, there are some principles that we utilize. However, one thing we always say is our goal is not to be on the ground. We're not here to play jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
It's like our goal is not to go to our gun. It's a tool you have when all shit fails, and that's the last thing you have. Boom. Same with the ground. If you get how many cops, because we're getting older, we're not mobile, we have all this equipment, you go to back up and you fall. Now what tool do you have on the ground? Nothing. But jiu-jitsu will teach you how to maintain or get into a good position, i.e. we teach knee on hips, because knee on belly and knee on sternum is we're taking their oxygen away. So that's something we have to be mindful of. So utilizing those principles, right? Like knee on belly. Well, now we'll put knee on hips. If someone has a weapon there, it's
I think
pinned.
those are shitty rules, by the way. I think they're shitty
We
rules.
can't choke. We can't choke either because that's now lethal force.
It's funny that I've never killed anybody doing a choke.
I know, but you got to realize
Nobody's ever died when I did a knee.
You got to realize the people making these rules and laws
Don't know
never
about
train jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You have some old guy with a pen saying, "Oh, that's scary." Okay, let's not.
I've never
do that.
even seen. I'm in a room full of 40, 50 people and no one dies.
We literally have days where we work on chokes.
Yeah.
Never had someone die.
Yeah. I think
You guys weren't going hard
I
enough.
think it's a.
We've had people see stars.
I don't even think anymore. I know it's just a matter of you just got to get the people that don't know. Like there's going to come a time where like everybody's going to train, and the guys that are in charge of jiu-jitsu, blue, purple, brown belts, which is what happened with Gwinnett County. Like I think Major Bailey, he got his brown belt.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Congrats, Major Bailey.
Yeah. So like that's what it takes. It's the people that are making the decisions have to train. And I think it should be kind of a consideration for that, the promotion, like if you're going to move up, like if you're going to be part of defensive tactics, you probably should be belted or have years of experience.
Yeah. How seriously are you taking your job? You want to deal with tactics. Are you dedicating your time to learning tactics?
Well, now it's this because to teach, now you have to go through like an instructor course. Well, then now there's all these instructor courses out, some better than others. We're not going to get into all that, but like now you come here for 5 days, for 40 hours, boom, you're a teacher. You never have to train again, but you are an instructor for defensive tactics. Blows my mind. I think police departments should have a program where if you're in charge of training your department, their safety, you should be ongoing in jiu-jitsu or some sort of martial art. Jiu-jitsu is the one that's I would highly recommend because
it's the most practical.
Yeah.
You would agree, possibly even wrestling, because it's for control, for pinning, etc. Like you said, you guys work with a boxer. That's a great skill set, but
very niche.
You can't look at that body cam and just see this guy 3-piece and whap, whap, whap. I said, get on the floor, whap, whap.
Yeah.
No, you can't do that. But you can.
You definitely can't do it anymore. You definitely can't do it anymore. You can do it, but you're probably going to be like, you're getting called into somebody's office.
Looks bad.
If it's on camera somewhere, somebody's going to look at it. And
could it be justified? Sure. But what is perception? What is the public perception? Because we all know that's the big thing now. Public perception.
Yeah. Again, Gwinnett County, we talked about it. He's like, I will bring people in. We'll review video. Shane said the same thing. Even the guys at my gym that do defensive tactics that teach at the Broward County College here where they do the academy, they've all said the same thing. We bring people in and watch the video and invite them to a session if they're not actively coming to like our defensive tactics classes or jiu-jitsu classes. We'll bring them in and be like, what could we have done differently? And we'll run the scenario and do that, which is smart. But screw that. They should be in. They should be training consistently. I believe without like becoming the military, you should adopt those principles of the military where a majority of the time they're doing things to stay in shape. They're running, they're exercising, they're doing PT, right?
Most departments, the first PT you take to get on the job, that's the last PT you'll take.
Yep. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's sad.
So listen, guys, I know that we got somebody that's got to come into the studio that we're scheduled at 1:00. So sorry that we didn't get to talk more. Like we could go on. I know we can go on forever. We talked a lot about the Academy safes. I'm sorry about that, but it was like definitely necessary to talk about this current event that is what's going on with ATO. So always welcome back.
I'm always down.
I love for you to come back again. We'll do it again. Whenever you're in Florida, if you're traveling, just let me know. Give me enough advance notice. I've locked up the studio on Fridays at this time for like months. I went out to like July, I think. I went out to July. I stopped at August because that's my daughter's due date is in August. And we're supposed to go to
be there.
And me and Robert are supposed to go to Abu Dhabi to meet with that German organization. So anyway.
Hey, fellow Jiu Jitsu Dummies. Think about this. How well do you know the people who are training your kids? Does your academy run background checks on all staff members, not just the owner? That's why there's Academy Safe. We mandate those checks, plus crucial U.S. Center for Safe Sport certification and concussion training. But we require even more. Our accredited gyms must also have defibrillators on premises, CPR, first aid, and AED certification, security cameras, verification of coach lineage and ranks, and business insurance. Don't guess. No. Demand safety for your family. Find an accredited gym at academysafe.org. Academy Safe, the highest standards in martial arts safety.
Special thank you to the crew over at Flow and Roll for all their support. Flow and Roll is renowned for their incredible no-gi rash guards, shorts, and leggings. Flow and Roll has quickly become the premier custom apparel provider for academies big and small throughout the United States. Reach out today to discuss your custom order and ask about their incredible pre-order program. You can send an email to flowandroll@gmail.com or visit their Instagram at flow_n_roll and shoot them a direct message. And yes, they can create an awesome custom gi for your academy as well. Visit flowandroll.com to check out their awesome designs, and remember, you'll get 20% off your purchase of t-shirts, rash guards, or gis with code JJD.
Is your business getting lost online? Black Belt Digital Marketing is a full-service digital marketing agency that helps you get found, get leads, and grow. We specialize in local and website SEO, so your business stands out when customers search. Our website SEO makes sure your site loads fast, ranks high, and stays ahead of AI-driven search, so customers find you first. More visibility, more clicks. More customers write when they're ready to buy. Grow your business online with Black Belt Digital Marketing. Visit bbdigitalmarketing.com or call 9542-204932 today.
We're going to leave it there. I know there's plenty more to talk about. Leo Optics, shout out to Leo Optics. I don't have do you have your glasses on you today?
No, sir.
They are the go-to brand for sunglasses and apparel featuring their unique bamboo sunglasses. Hold on. Wait a minute. I got them right here. Meow, meow. There you go. Bamboo sunglasses. We've got the really cool, hopefully that camera's working. You can get your stripe. If you're a if you're a 3-year blue belt, you can get the blue belt here. They'll put it on there for you so you can actually order it.
That sounds like
so really cool bamboo sunglasses. You can check them out at leooptics.com. Use code JJD for 10% off your order. They work with Academy Safe and the podcast as well. So check us out on Instagram at Jiu Jitsu Dummies for all the ways to watch, listen, support. My personal IG is Uncle Milty BJJ.
You can find me at MMA Coach Ben on Instagram. But real quick, right before we go out, we just had our season opener for the IKF Point Kickboxing and Muay Thai just about a week ago.
Awesome.
Academy Safe was out there. Milton had a booth. I hope you got to talk to a bunch of coaches. We are booked out for the entire year. We've got one every other month. So I want to let you guys know early. March 22nd, Davie Police Athletic League Gymnasium, the IKF Point Kickboxing and Muay Thai is coming back. Registration is already open. Get on there, be the first in your bracket.
We will be there.
And we'll have Academy Safe.
We're going to be shooting. We're going to be at the IBJJF. I guess that's the Winter Open in Miami in a couple of weeks. We're going to be at in Kissimmee for the PANS. We're going to be in Austin at their event in, I think that's February as well. I'm going to be at Austin with Flow and Roll. So come check us out, say hello, take some pictures. Come check. We're going to be there to represent Academy Safe, but we can chat about the podcast or whatever you guys want to chat about. So thank you. Dude, thank you so much for doing this.
Brother.
Kate, thank you for being so patient. Appreciate it. We moved you around a couple of times. You're like running around the studio here. Stay out of the shot. That's okay. Thank you for watching and listening, everybody. Peace, love, jiu-jitsu.